Hello and welcome, my name is iwanPlays and I'm going to show you how to make Ravenfield maps. This will be a complete guide from beginning to end. There will be multiple methods and there will be additional tips on how to make your maps more beautiful and more playable. If you are only interested in a specific part of map making, check the links in the description of this video. I have time codes there, you can just click them and jump to the part you are interested in. Make sure to bookmark this video because it's going to be a long one. Just hit Ctrl D and save it for later. You will need 3 things for this tutorial: the Ravenfield tools, which are free for download, Unity, which is free for download, and Blender, which is free for download. Get Unity 5.6.3 P1 or check the official text guide for the latest version that is supported. Let's get the Unity installer first. It's just an exe file that you simply run. You accept making changes and you click through, not too fast. Accept the license agreement, pick your architecture. In here, make sure Windows support is included, which is a default on Windows, so you don't need to check anything here. But on Mac and Linux, you need to include Windows build support. I'm not sure if Mac build support is required, but let's just keep it just in case. Standard assets, just if you have a space, just leave them in as well. You don't need anything else except for, of course, a base engine. In total, this will require a little bit under 3 GB of space. Then just install it and wait, or follow the next steps. The next step is to get the Ravenfield tools. Link is in the description of this video. On the Google Drive page, just press the download button at the top right, and it might take a little bit, but then it will start download. The file is approximately 50 megabytes in size. There are no version numbers, so you just have to check in details here at the top from which date the current version is. Then get Blender. It will be just much better if you have Blender. Get the installer, download it. Once it is downloaded, go through the usual steps of installing it. Accept the license, Blender player, sure. It's also small, it doesn't really matter. And then just install it. And accept making changes, of course. All this installing and waiting is probably the worst part of it all. Just power through. Alright, here we have it. Desktop icon, no thanks, but we have Blender, that's great. Now, if we create a new file that's supposed to use Blender, it might not be associated automatically. Yeah. You might want to create or download a blend file and just right-click it, go to Properties, and change what it opens with. So I'm just gonna select this Blender version. This probably does not apply to you, but if you had a portable version of Blender associated to .blend files before, you might want to rename the folder where the exe is contained so that Windows forgets what it is, because if you use the new blend.exe, then it messes things up and still use the old one. Just move the location or rename the folder of your old portable Blender, if you have one, and then you can associate blend files freshly. Alright, the final piece is the Ravenfield tools pack. It is utterly important that you unzip the file. You have to extract the file. You cannot use the zip file. Do not drag the zip file into Unity. So many people have troubles with zip files. It's okay, it's normal. This icon indicates that it is a zip file. Alright, let's just be extra clear. This is a folder, this is a zip file, this is an archive file. Usually you don't see the zip at the end, but you can go to View, Options, View, and then Hide Extensions for known file types, uncheck that. So while this is enabled, you are a computer beginner, and when you uncheck this, you are a computer advanced user. It's a strange reality of this world. So again, this is a folder, this is a zip file. You have to extract this. You have to unzip this. So right-click it, go to Extract All, press Extract. I'm just going to get rid of this folder. We don't need that. Alright, nearly done, nearly done, nearly done. Great. Okay, so the next step is to rename this folder. Definitely rename it. Call this folder My Map. Do not skip this step. You will hate yourself if you do. Alright, and here we have this again, whatever, just call it My Map. Again, do this, do not not do this. It is so important because you will get so confused later. Just make sure that you have this zip file kept for, just in case you need it again, because you might screw up your project, which is totally fine. Just keep it around, but do not keep the Ravenfield tools pack as the default name for your map. Alright, so go inside My Map, go inside My Map. You can also just cut this, paste it in here, get rid of this My Map folder, so now you only have one level. Okay, don't get confused about this, just skip it if you don't care. In here we have Assets, Project Settings, Workshop Staging, and Steam App ID. Great, don't touch anything yet. What you need to do now is get Unity working. So Unity is probably installed by now. just start it up. At this point, Unity will require you to register and fill out a survey. You can just fill out false information. I recommend using a real email address. You can change everything later or just use a disposable email address. And now the extremely important part is that you do not create a new project. I'm going to show you what you are not supposed to do, all right? Do not create a new project. Do not give it a name. Do not do that. And then do not drag in this folder, which you probably still have not renamed from Ravenfield Tools Pack. Do not drag it into your assets. Do not do that. That is what you are not supposed to do. You are supposed to not do that. I'm just explaining the most common mistakes people do. Unfortunately, this is how this toolkit was designed. It's not optimal, but that's how it is, so we just work around the problems and avoid making mistakes so you don't get stressed out later. This is also wrong. Do not do this. Do not create a Unity project where you drag in the Ravenfield Tools Pack and have assets and project settings and workshop staging and Steam App ID somewhere in assets. Do not do that. Instead, here's what you have to do. Open Unity. And now press Open. And here, go to the folder where your map is, or my map. We're just calling it my map, all right? Go in there and just don't select a file, just press Select Folder. Again, this is a non-intuitive user interface, but whatever. Just go inside there until you see Assets, Project Settings, Workshop Staging, and then press Select Folder. All right, Unity creates automatically some temp folder, library. Just go with it, just wait for the hold on to finish. Then wait for the second to hold on while it imports the whole texture stuff and so on. Now, this will take a while. The reason for that is that the weapons pack is also in here and probably the custom vehicles as well once that is available. Here we are, here's our Unity project. The important thing is that down here we have inside of assets, immediately we have animations, content and so on, and not in a subfolder. You can check the console for errors. Most of the stuff you can ignore. It is quite important that you do have Blender installed, otherwise you will get problems with models. The first thing to do is test that everything is running. Go to Scenes, this is a folder down here, and in Scenes, you will find Example Scene. Do not use the name Example Scene for your map. Actually, go ahead and rename it. Just call it My Map right now, and then double-click it. Alright, so here we are inside of My Map. We can right-click in the Scene view. Here it says Scene. We can right-click and look around. We can use WASD to move, also Q to go down and E to go up. With Shift you can accelerate your movement, which is extremely important to get faster from A to B. You can see there is some kind of construction here. There's basically walls. There's a flag here. There's a red area here. There's a bridge and another bridge. There is another flag somewhere. Let's see. Here it is. Here is the other flag. And then if we fly around some more, another flag and another red area. So the first thing you would want to do is to go to Ravenfield Tools up here. So this is already important. If Ravenfield Tools up here at the top is missing, then you need to just stop what you're doing and start watching this video from the beginning again, because you did something wrong. And it is a very common thing to do something wrong, because this is a completely new thing to do. It can be confusing as heck. Don't worry about it. Just retry again and be a bit slower this time. I know that my videos can be a bit fast at times. Anyways, once you have this Ravenfield Tools menu, just select Set Game Executable. And at this point you will need Steam running. So in your library, just right-click Ravenfield, press Properties, go to Local Files and press Browse Local Files. Over here, just copy the path at the top, Control-C or right-click Copy, and paste it in here. Press Enter and double-click ravenfield.exe, or the one, Ravenfield with the icon. Alright, so that's that. The next step is to go to Ravenfield Tools, Map, and press Scan Path Finding. This will build the map and then launch it inside of Ravenfield so that the AI can find its way around. The information that the AI then collects gets saved, so everybody who plays your map doesn't have to wait so long when it loads. Here we are in the map. We can fly around with WASD, QE, and we can see some kind of indicators where positions of AI are for holding fort, for defending. And the white area, that means that the AI can walk there. And as you can see here, the red area is where they will not walk. This is because of the area that was red. And everything that is white is where they can visit. So for example, they cannot go to this area of the map, even if you order them. Same with this little strip. Press escape when you're done. And what you're supposed to do next is go to Ravenfield Tools, Map, and press Export Open Scene as Map. You will get this message, I hope. Export completed, map was successfully exported to so-and-so. Now launch Ravenfield, go to Instant Action, go to Custom Maps at the top, and select your map. My map it's called. Pay attention, my map, that is the name of this scene. You can change the name over here. You can slowly click twice, and then call it my awesome map. Or you can press F2 and call it my incredible map. Be very aware of this. If you do not change this name, it will always be called example scene. So here it is, my map, and we just try it out in point match. And excuse the different models, that's I did that earlier. Never mind that, never mind the Star Wars stuff. But basically, as you can see, it all works fine. Excellent. You can get out of the game with Alt F4 easily and quickly. Now the easiest thing to do is to modify this existing map and change it to what you want it to be. To do this, click on the terrain or select it here on the left-hand side in the hierarchy. And then on the right-hand side in Inspector, there is terrain, and here you can click these buttons to modify various aspects. Here you can, for example, paint the texture. You can, for example, paint sand everywhere, or rock, or grass. I'm just going to go ahead and tell you right now, this is not how the textures got painted there. You can actually click on Pile Texturere here, and then click Apply Texture. And it will automatically assign sand to area that is low, rock to area that can't be walked on, and grass on everything else. So if you click on terrain again, you can also modify the height. Over here, the leftmost is the raise lower terrain tool. We're just going to take this and change the brush size to a lot, and just click around a little. And if I want it to go down, I hold Shift while clicking. So let's get rid of this mountain. Let's get rid of this mountain, and this is a bit too crass, so instead I'm going to do this. I'm going to paint height. This will paint the exact height that I want. Let's set this to 111. Too much. Let's set this to 11. Perfect. So I'm just going to make a flat map here and start from that. There we go. Alright, next up I'm gonna set this to 0, make the brush size much smaller, and just paint a river. Yep, that's what a river is. Actually, you know, these are islands. It's just two islands next to each other, divided by a little bit of water. If we now apply the Pile Texturere, everything will be sand. So let's make it a little more interesting. We're gonna use a low opacity setting on the raise lower terrain tool. The brush size will be, let's say, 13. And we're just gonna, we're gonna make small lines. One goal being to divide the map into areas, just roughly, so you cannot shoot everybody from everywhere, so you have to either get on higher ground or move around. So we're just gonna keep building mountains, and we can increase the size of a brush to make hills. It's all good. The most horrible thing you can do is just make a flat map if you want to make a map that is actually interesting to play. So just add hills wherever. And don't worry about the look of it yet, because we can smooth it out real good in a second. Right, so I'm kind of happy with this for now. Let's make sure there's enough division. Yeah, let's make sure there's enough protection when you walk on these bridges, which we're going to move around later. Actually, let's have some natural crossover as well. All right, this is good to me. This looks good to me. We're gonna test this map. We're gonna first go to Pile Texturere and apply texture, just to see what it looks like, just to see what the game thinks of this. We're gonna now go to Map, Export Scene as Map. So you will get this. Your map is okay, but there are warnings. You haven't generated a navmesh graph cache for your scene. You can generate one by running Ravenfield Tools scan pathfinding. This will significantly speed up load times. This is important when you want to publish a map, but for now, it's okay. For now, you can just do this, so you can test your map on your machine, but once you put it on Steam, you want to do the navmesh building first. So this time it's called My Incredible Map because I renamed it since the last time. Make sure you keep track of that. And we're just gonna try it out in point match. So here we are. All right. This seems to work. This base seems to be okay. This base not so much. It's floating into the air. We have to kind of get this down. Also, we cannot really cross to the other side except flying. We can... Oh, we can barely move up here? Wow. Is there... Okay. So... Huh. So tolerant. Can even walk up. Nah, we can barely walk up here. So we can actually get over there somehow, but this needs to get better. We can smooth out the map a lot, and then they don't have to swim like that. Poor fellas. Poor fellas. And as you can see, they actually have to fall down when they spawn, see? That's not fair, that's not good. Unless you're making a joke map, I suppose. So now we're gonna keep working on the terrain. We're gonna go to the terrain, we're gonna click the terrain, either in the scene or in the hierarchy on the left. And we're gonna go to smooth height. And we're gonna set this to, let's say 100. And just, yeah, opacity 27 is good. Let's just click around, let me get closer so you can see. See, this makes it kind of more natural. Kind of more soft, at least. Definitely looks better. Just keep going with that. Keep smoothing. Especially the coastline. For the coastline, it's particularly good. Although players tend to then not be able to get out of water. You might have to give it another go with more precision. But I'm just gonna smooth out everything here on the map to just get the basics done. And I'm going to make the brush size much smaller and do it a little more in detail over here. That should allow for an easy transition from the two sides to one another. But we're still going to use the bridges later. Okay, the thing with a floating base we're going to fix later. So now I'm just going to go back to Pile Texturere and press Apply Texture. Much nicer, much smoother, very nice. Alright, so here we have a problem where we did build the map, but it didn't update. Everything looks still like this. This is a problem. To fix this, you can just go to Export in Assets down below. Go inside here, select everything, and just Shift Delete. And then just Ravenfield Tools, Map, Export, Open Scene as Map. And then it will have to rebuild everything. So one little trick, you can actually close Steam and just run Ravenfield from its folder. This way you don't have to wait for all the mods to be loaded. See, the menu just pops up. Then you have to go to Custom Maps, pick your map, point match, and go. So here it is, the smoothed out map. Much better, much better. And you can actually walk over to the other side. The next thing would be to fix the bridge and the base and so on. But what I really hate about many maps and the default set that we are given is the skylight. It's disgusting and it makes the map look ugly. So you kind of have two options here. You could go to Materials, right-click in here, Create Material, call it good sky. Then at the top right part, you would click on this standard shader and turn it to skybox procedural. And now I would suggest that you change this to a nice and blue color. Just click it, this thing will appear. Select a blue color. Something in the brighter section, something closer to green than to red. And then this one I would make a lighter gray, maybe a tiny bit of red in it. Exposure, let's go for 1. And then just drag the good sky onto the skyline. Maybe go for a little less. Maybe go for a little more, yeah, a little darker, even darker. Not too bright or else the horizon will be weirdly yellow. So go for a darker blue, or let's call it stronger blue. And the ground should be kind of on the bright side of gray. This is already much better. Standard, improved. Standard, improved. You can also go to the asset store at the top center. For this you need to be logged into Unity. In here just go for free sky and go to free HDR sky. Now the problem here is that it adds a lot of megabytes, but it might be worth it. You can press download here and then import once it's downloaded. And then in here you don't need sunset, just go for daytime. So no sunset, no scene. All you need is a cube map and the material for daytime. Just press import, and it will take a while to process it actually. Then go back to scene, then go to your assets folder, go to skybox, go to materials and skybox daytime, drag it onto the sky. And let's just try it out real quick. Map, export. Alright, so sometimes it realizes that there were changes and that it needs to be rebuilt. So that is good. Alright. We're gonna go for spectator mode this time. Okay, so here we have it. The sky is much better, although maybe for your taste it is too cloudy and happy. So that's something for you to decide, of course. So when it comes to the grass, you can go to the paintbrush part of the terrain and edit this texture. Just click it and then you can add metallic to it, which is a strange thing to do for grass, but definitely something you can do. And smoothness will make it shinier. So this is really something strange. You probably don't want to do that. But you can use smoothness alone to give it some kind of strange white reflection. Or you can just replace the grass. These are standard assets, I believe, from Unity, I think. You can find nicer stuff online. For example, this grass pack. I'll put a link to this grass pack in the description of this video. You can just drag file in here. And now we're just gonna drag this onto the edit terrain texture. Again, to get this, click on the terrain, or yeah, over here, click on the terrain on the left, go to the paint texture section on the right hand side, click on textures twice on the grass texture there, and now you can drag in grass in there. So this completely looks like a Super Mario first level now. But to be honest, I really prefer this over the grass that is included, because this is definitely not the grass that Steel Raven 7 used for Archipelago and stuff. He did use something much happier. But hey, it's good. He gives us stuff to overcome. So now the problem is this grass is too blurry. We might want to increase the size, actually reduce the size to 5. Yeah, this looks better. Even 3 maybe. Much better. We're just gonna export and test this real quick again. Alright, here we are. And if we look down here, looks still kind of blurry. Still kind of blurry. We might want to actually reduce it even more. Let's go for size is 1. Apply. Looks good enough for me right now. It is actually quite a blurry texture. Yeah, you know what? We can do better. Let's use another texture from this texture pack. Get this one in here. Alright. Click on terrain. Click on the paintbrush and double click this and drag this one in instead. Oh yeah. Apply and take a look. This looks great. Alright, here it is. We could even scale this up a little. But yeah, this looks great. Much better, much better. Yeah, I'm actually gonna scale it up to 2, but we're not gonna test this anymore. Next up, let's correct the position of things. We can just click on objects and when we click twice on them, we will teleport to their location. So this turret is actually very lucky with where it was placed, but we can move it around a little. Or this flag, it would be nicer if we placed it in the middle there. So let's click until the flag is highlighted, or actually we can select the move tool at the top here and try to click on the flag. Yeah, it works. And then if we drag these arrows or the surfaces between them, we can move it around on 1 or 2 axes. So now the flag is here in the middle, that's nice. We can click on this, this turret, move it a little to this side. We can also use the rotation tool to make it point to the enemy's direction by default. Yeah, that's nice. Same with the helicopter, let's make it actually point towards the enemy by default. Over here at the enemies, we can also move stuff around. First of all, there is this no-go area. This thing is an avoidance box, and it tells enemies and allies to not go to this area. Sometimes because the AI is too stupid to avoid dangerous areas or useless areas, we're gonna just move it over here, because here you are too exposed to enemy fire, so you really shouldn't go there. We're also gonna fix the bridges. We're gonna move this bridge over here. Yeah, we're gonna make it a bit shorter. Move it again a little and rotate it as well. Now it's kind of a ramp bridge kind of thing. And final piece of movement, and it's done, isn't it? Yeah, this looks good. Same with this bridge. Let's have a connection on this side, but move it a bit down. Move it a bit like this. Again, let's make it a bit shorter. Move it back over here and rotate it as well. And again, move it a little. And a bit down. Perfect. Now we can even drive through here. I wonder if cars are... Not sure a car would dare drive in here when the AI drives it. Speaking of car, let's move the car down. Alright, let's move this ammunition box down. The shadow helps us precisely put it on the ground. There we go. Always better a bit under the ground than above, I think. Vehicles, opposite thing. A bit over the ground is better, they can just fall down a tiny bit. Turret, you are way too high. Let's get you down. There we go. And for these things, we're gonna kind of aim from the below and select multiple things at one time. They have to be completely surrounded by the box to be selected. And we can check on the left-hand side what is selected. So that's all we want to move. Great. Let's move it together. Yep, this looks good. This looks good. Move it a bit into my direction. Like this. And a bit down again. Fantastic. Actually, still a little bit too high. So let's select it again. Make sure the terrain is not selected. And move it down just a bit more. Okay, so what we see now is we have one flag, we have the other flag, but there is another flag on the map, and if we just scroll on the left-hand side and click on the different checkpoints, capture point blue, capture point neutral, here. Where is capture point red? There's capture point red. Let's actually move this down so they are all in one section. Capture point neutral is over here, so this means we need to move this one down. That is, if we want it to be over here at all. We might want to completely relocate that. Yeah, let's move it over here, closer to red's initial base, but also closer to blue's base over here by the hills. But at the same time behind these mountains. Okay, we're going to move it over here and hide it a little. But not too much, so it still sticks out. Alright, perfect, here we go. Also, these walls we can reuse. First of all, we can fix this a little. Yeah, that's nicer. But usually you wouldn't use standard blocks in Unity to make walls. You would actually use models or import models. Actually, I'm going to copy one of the walls. I'm just going to click this wall, hit Ctrl-C for edit and copy, and then Ctrl-V for edit and paste. And then a new cube appears. We can also rename this to, for example, wall of Ivan. Then we're going to zoom out, move around and move it over there to the other base, move it up a little. Because I want this base to have some protection from bullets as well. So I'm going to rotate this a bunch and move it a little more. Yep, that's how I wanted it. Bit more. So this way we cannot have long-range firefights between the two bases directly. That's just annoying. A lot of maps have that. It's not fun. It's just not cool. We're gonna do this a few more times. For example, I want this passage to be protected. I don't want everybody who walks over here just be shot down. Rotate this wall, move it over here, and then move it up. And here as well. And since we're on it, let's give this bridge some protection as well. Rotate it like this, rotate it like that. Stretch it actually. And move it again. All right. If we want to add more vehicles and turrets, we can just do that in assets. If you go to prefabs and then map elements, then you have turret spawner, vehicle spawner. So we can just get vehicle spawner, drag it somewhere. Usually we want to move it a bit higher. And on the right hand side we can define which vehicle. So for example, we can have a tank. Yeah. And let's give this team a tank as well. Or actually, let's give it a few quads instead. Let's make one quad and then just copy and paste it. And then they can pick and choose. Same for turrets. Just put a turret, drag it in, lower it, and pick on the right-hand side which machine gun or anti-tank or anti-air. Let's give this one an anti-air one. And then also this base should have a attack helicopter as well. Actually, let's give this one a plane. Let's point it this way. All right. Time to build the map again. We're going to play reverse mode so we can check out the plane and see if AI can handle it. Here we are, spawning right here, blue flag and turrets we can use. And the plane is over there, so let's see. Anybody going to the plane? Anybody going for a plane? Yep, you are going for a plane. Come on, show us what you got. Go team! Alright, you even crashed into a quad and still got up. Nice job, buddy. Oh, and then you got shut down. Ha ha ha! Alright, so this... I don't know what's going on here. I think this is because they got kicked off by the plane. They're actually trying to get into a reasonable path. Where are you going, buddy? Where? Yes, this makes much more sense. Alright, good job. So they are handling the environment. AI is doing great. And we have a new pilot. Go and fly! Oh, buddy. You're so brutal. So there it is, there's the plane. Alright, so how far have we progressed? We have modified the terrain, we have made it prettier, we have made the sky prettier, we have moved objects, we have added vehicles, we have moved flags. Let us now add a new flag. For this, in the, again, assets, prefabs, map elements, this time we go to must-haves, we have a capture point. Let's drag the capture point to a place where we want to have a new base. For example, over here. Yeah, seems about right. Down here is fine for me, and maybe we can add it to have a vehicle. 2 vehicles. Let's give it 2 Jeep machine guns. Yep, that sounds like a worthwhile cause. And since we're at it, let's modify the terrain a little so you can actually get over here. Oh, that was too much. Yeah, this might work out fine. Let's use the smooth height tool. Yeah, this needs a little more. Let's set opacity to 70. and smooth it out like there's no tomorrow. Smooth. So as you can see, the texture gets applied as it is. We're gonna fix that. It's easy. We just run the texture tool again. So I'm actually gonna draw the height a little, because this is a bit too round for me, and smooth out again. Yeah, this is looking good. Alright, now we're gonna fix this terrain texture by going to the Pile Texturer again. We're gonna move the Pile Texturer right below the terrain, because it's so closely related, and I'm gonna apply texture. Alright, so here we have this very smooth grass. Doesn't look too good. We could make it higher, or we can actually modify the Pile Texturer probably. If you really want to get into that, select the Pile Texturer, go to Detail Layers, scroll down, and let's see, Density Curve. Maybe if we put this to 0.5, no, point this up, we set this to 2. Oh, so the density curve defines how much grass is there, so let's put it to 0.1 by, whoa, that's not much. By grass, I mean not the texture, but the billboards, if that's what you call them. Apparently 1 is the minimum. Okay, so here we have it. If we go to the layers and we go to element 1, I suppose, is grass, probably. Let's put the gain to 2. Oh wow, this is much stronger. Ha! Let's set this to 1.1. Apply texture, okay. 1.3, 4. Strong, strong. Let's go for 1.3. Yeah, this is nice. So we're gonna roll with that. There's still some sand around, but the map overall is much greener now. But we added this new flag, so what do we do with the flag now? We have to add it to the network. The network of connected flags, otherwise nobody's gonna go there. We can check it out. So if we take a look at the map as it is now, we can see this flag exists. It actually already is blue. We didn't really want that, but whatever. Units do spawn and run away from it. For some reason they decide to swim rather than walk. I don't know what's up with that. We're gonna have to take a look at that. But if we look at the map in general and just look at how it progresses, then we will kind of notice that red is not interested in this map flag at all. They are never moving here. Now this could be coincidence, but it actually makes sense. So first of all, let's make this flag neutral. Default owner, I don't know why it's blue, let's set it to neutral. We can modify in which range it's getting protected. For example, 100 is quite a big circle. 50 might be more appropriate. This defines how far AI will walk while being a protector of a flag. So depending on how the map is structured, you might want it to be much bigger or much smaller. I prefer smaller. We're going to give it a name. Let's call it By the Rocks. A descriptive name based on the environment is really good. I would never call the flags red or blue because, first of all, there's an option to reverse the teams. Second of all, what if something is captured by red and it's still called blue? That's just silly. Unless there are maybe blue colors all over the map near that flag. You can also define how close you have to be to the flag to be able to capture it. 10 is a bit vile. 30, I guess, is good. 20 is maybe a bit more strict. And you can also define what height this is. 0. Okay, 10. So you can also capture it from below if you put a number in here. And capture ceiling, if that is 5, that's a bit slim. Yeah, but maybe you can still do it. You can kind of do it from this hill, but maybe not in this area, but from this area, yes. But there's not much of a reason to set the ceiling too low, so let's go for 15. So now let's just check out the map again, because I want you to see that the AI will never go here. So here we are back on this map, and as you can see, nobody is even considering going to this flag. However, these bots are moving over to this flag, alright. Here it is. Blue is also on the move to take this flag. Wow, just look at this mass and mass of units. Somehow a blue moved over here. I think that might have been an accident. Yeah, he's not even considering staying, he's just going away. Probably his plane crashed over here or something. Ha, ridiculous. So how do we integrate flags into the network of, you know, war consciousness. Simple. Find the object on the left-hand side that is called neighbor manager. If you zoom out, you can see that these 3 flags from the beginning are connected. So now we need to connect the rest of them. First, I'm just going to move the capture points next to each other here. Capture point, right? Make sure that there's this line and not like this, otherwise you make them the child of another object, and if you move that object, you can, then the object gets moved with them. So anyways, we have capture points here. We're going to call this one cap walls, and we're actually going to give it the name walls. This one will be cap uphill, and we're going to just call it uphill. Doesn't really matter, it just has to somehow refer to the area around it, and yeah. This one we're going to call cap side MT, and just call it side mountain. And this one we're going to call cap by rocks. And we already gave it by the rocks as the name. So now the neighborhood manager, where is it? Here it is. Let's move it a bit closer to the capture points. We're just gonna extend this so we can see the names. So what we see here is the defender main base, which is cap walls, and the attacker base, which is cap hill. These attacker and defender bases are important for battalions. In the future, battalions will be non-symmetrical, so defenders will have more bases, so you can add more bases that are supposed to belong to battalions from the beginning. King of a hill base, we're gonna set this to, if we click the circle, we can now select directly. Let's go for uphill. This is another game mode that has not been implemented yet, but you can already set these checkpoints, capture points. Anyways, we wanted to connect the flags, right? So neighborhood manager shows these purple lines. What you want to do is, in the spawn point neighbor manager script, open up neighbors, and here you have elements. Element 0 connects cap walls to cap uphill. Walls is here, uphill is here. And so we have 3 lines. For this reason, we have a size of 3. So what we want to do now is we want to connect by the rocks, the base on the bottom left. The base on the bottom left, we want to connect to uphill and also to walls. So we're going to add 2 new items to this neighbors list. Just from 3, we set it to 5. Right, and now we have element 3 and element 4, because it starts at 0. So we're going to set this as not side mountain, but by rocks. And here as well, by rocks. So these are both connected to walls, but one of them we want to connect to uphill. And that's why it's so important to give the bases a decent name, otherwise you have just capture point 0, capture point 1, it's a hell. This is much better, this is so much better. So now that we did that, AI will actually care about this and actually move over here and try to get it and use these vehicles and so on and defend it. Another thing we want to look at now, because I have a feeling that the AI was very stupid when moving from here to the other base. I think they can't move around here. So let's look at the infantry and car pathfinding box. Yes, I was correct. It's actually cut off here, so they can only see this lake. They can see this bridge, I suppose. I don't know why they don't use it. Maybe they did use it, I don't know. But if we keep looking at the infantry and car pathfinding box, then we can change its size. It can be weird to determine where its lines really are because it's a wireframe model, but if we go and zoom out and see, look at it like this, then perfect. We can see exactly where it is. So now we go to the scale tool, and over here in the middle you have these green, blue, red scale thingies. You can just drag it. And then to confirm where the location is, where the cutoff is for the navigation calculation, which calculates where units can move, you can move again, so these 2 lines overlap. And the same over here, it cuts off quite a chunk of backside of the island, but that doesn't matter for now. And over here it's quite a lot of water, which is completely useless. We can actually move it a bit to the left and then make it a bit smaller again. The smaller it is, the easier the calculation is, I think. I think you can save a little bit of processing time. Make it smaller. Alright, this looks good. This looks good as well. Still a bit too much, but doesn't matter. And on this end, yeah, this side of the map also doesn't matter. Perfect. That's it for the pathfinding on ground. Let's just build the map and see how well this works. For testing, I recommend you add a lot of bots, because bots are still very, very defensive. So if you add 50, you will hardly be able to see where they move. But if you add 300, you will have lines on the map that show you where units are. Okay, so we have a bit of a problem here. I don't know why these bots decide to swim. That is really stupid. I don't know what's going on here. So maybe we actually want to go to map, Ravenfield tools, map, and then scan pathfinding. Perhaps that'll help? Or at least it will show us what's going on there. Because this is really weird. Okay, so I don't know why, but the AI thinks water is traversable. Okay, I'm not sure what is going on. I'm not sure what this is supposed to be. But my solution for now will be the following. I will select the infantry and car pathfinding box, and I will just move it up, or rather make it less high, the Y aspect. Right, that's what I'm going to change. And I'm going to make it so that it's, yeah, it's on sea level. It's right a bit above sea level. So if I manipulate the scale to this exact point where the two lines overlap, perfect. It doesn't even touch the water now. I don't know if that's the correct way, because that's super weird. Why does AI love to swim so much? But if we go to Ravenfield Tools, Map, Scan, Pathfinding, I hope this will be better. I do hope so. Looks better. Looks like water is water and not for walking anymore. I'm a bit confused about this. Are they still working? Huh. I think they are still walking over here. Okay, no more silly swimming. I'm glad to see it. Looks like there are some issues with the tank. I might have placed it too close to the flag, I'm not sure. And as you can see, both are interested in this flag now. Are you kind of stuck? Nope, nope, actually they're gonna take it. Guys, where are you going? Where are you going? What is wrong with you? Whoa, they went for a joyride. Okay, I don't know what's up with these people, but they are having a lot of fun on this map, that's for sure. Okay, so this works. That is cool. Yeah, some things are weird, but hey, it's cool. Alright, the next thing we want to do is to get water vehicles in here and figure them out. First of all, let's change the terrain a little. Let us get rid of some of that land. Alright, and then as per usual, let's smooth it out a little. Smooth, smooth, smooth. And this is a bit tricky, it's a bit too much what I removed here. And this is too big. So let's get some more land in here. Yeah, we want to do this to paint height actually. So we have a paint height of 10, which is below water, and next to it paint height of 11, which is above water, and we're gonna smooth it out. Smooth it out. All right, great. I think we can work with this. Before we start, let's do the same here. Let's add waterways over here. So we get rid of most of this landmass back here, which we don't need anyways. Keep the island for decoration. Then we're going to have a little bit of area that is at level 10. And then 11. And then I'm going to smooth it out. And smooth it out a little here as well. Alright, now that this is all done and working, let's go with the texture thingy. Yeah, Pile Texturere. Let's use a Pile Texturere again. Apply texture. Perfect. That cleans it up. And now let's check out this. There is a landing zone here. So this needs to be by water. Let's move it over here. And also it's connected to one checkpoint. We don't want it to be connected to that checkpoint anymore. We want it to be connected to this one. I hope this is enough. So let's have it here. Let's rotate it a little so that it's in line with the coastline. We can make it bigger, and we're going to connect it to by rocks? No, by walls. Perfect. And we're also going to add a vehicle here, which is going to be of the type fighter plane, no, RHIB, and move it over here. Going to rotate it a little as well. And let's see, this thing is a landing zone. Let's search for a landing zone in here. Yep, there they are. Here's another one. This one is actually connected to the right base, so let's use this one for the other base. We're just going to move it out into water and a bit higher, and then remove the search filter. Alright. And we're going to move it to this base. Down here. Oh, it's a bit hard to make it collide with the water properly. Alright, you can use this. Kind of use this. Alright, so we move it freaking heck. We move it okay. Moving this thing is annoying as well because of the water. Nope, that doesn't work. So we're just gonna do it like this with the numbers there. No, not Y. And also scale it up. Like that and like this. And move it a bit closer. Okay, let's hope that works fine. And of course we're going to connect it to by the rocks. Cool. Next up we're going to add another vehicle. This is going to be another RHIB. Gonna rotate it to be ready to go. Set it close to the coastline there. Should be fine, should be enough for them to get on. And what we're going to do now is, to make AI actually use this, we're going to make a copy of this no-go area, move it over here, and scale it way up. Yep, we're going to make it super wide and high and a bit long, and rotate it and make sure that nobody moves across any of the bridges. We do this just to test the water vehicles. They still have the helicopter and the plane, but they will be forced to use the water vehicles, I think. We can also find out if they're gonna use this boat, which I kinda doubt, but we will find out. We will see soon. So let's just scan pathfinding, just to make sure. Looking good. Not sure if there are supposed to be any symbols for water vehicles, but we're gonna find out. If it works or not, just go to map, export, and now in spectator mode, we're just gonna watch. Okay, this boat seems to be in the water, and this boat seems to be in the water as well. AI is moving towards it. Okay, we're gonna watch this first. Good. Okay, what about you two? What is this supposed to be? So the problem here might be that it's just not close enough to the beach, which I don't really think it is the issue. Okay, after speeding up, one of them finally made it. Okay, and then another one. I had to use the speed hack for that. Where are they going now? What is this supposed to be? Okay, meanwhile the other base is still being contested. I'm really curious. It's strange to me that they decided to take this path, but actually I did not manipulate the pathfinding thing for boats. There is one, right? Where are you going? What? What? Okay, this is probably my fault. Let's see what happens over here. Are you gonna go to the boat? Doesn't look like it. Alright, so first things first, let's move this boat a bit closer. There we go. And let's move that boat a bit closer as well. Alright, next thing, let's check pathfinding. Path? Yeah, we have a boat pathfinding box. Let's check that one out. And we can see that it is probably, yeah, it's probably barely enough for this area. Actually, it looks quite good. It should capture all of the area. Well, what we're going to do is we're going to extend it on this side. Can we do that? Alright, never mind. We're just going to scale it up. on the x-axis. Let's just set it to 600. Everything else seems to be in the area. Let's just get rid of this. It's still selected. Yep, everything is inside the area, so it should work out fine actually. And this this no-go zone, oh, avoidance box, it probably also affects water vehicles. Maybe that's the reason. So let's make this one shorter. But on the other hand, it doesn't explain why they went in there. Very weird. Alright, hopefully this will be enough. Okay, here we are, and let's give it a try. This time I expect a little better behavior. Okay, good. Moving it closer to the beach seemed to have done the trick. I do not understand why they take this path. They really should be going around that way. They really should be going to that base. Perhaps the issue is that I selected... Whoa, that plane had issues. Did you see that? That guy was totally caught in the plane. That's awesome. Haha. Poor fella. Well, there is no falling damage yet. Anyways, I think the issue is that I select why are you going here? Why are you going here? And why are these guys in the water? Why are they walking through this wall? So for the boat thing, I think the reason again is that the flags don't have this vehicle filter enabled. So this one can be attacked by a watercraft. However, this base, I do not want it to be attacked by watercraft. That makes no sense. It has no port, so to speak. Same for this flag. This flag has no watercraft accessibility, is my decision right now. And just, yeah, reduce protect range of all the flags. And this one can be attacked by watercraft, yeah, that's fine with me. So to make extra sure, let's go to export, select everything and delete, shift delete. And now we're gonna go to Ravenfield Tools, Map and Scan Pathfinding. Can we just export? Let's try to just export. Okay, they are entering the boat. And this time the boat is moving where I want it to move. That is nice. Are you actually gonna capture the base? I think you are. Please don't hit the rock. Okay, good. Come on, take a turn. This is where you want to be. Get in there. Yes, yes! Nice landing. Now get out, boys. Very good. And now don't fall into the water. Don't fall into the water. Just take the flag. Excellent. Oh my, this was perfect. I mean, there's a huge blue army and you are not using rocket launchers or grenades, so that's bad, but good job. You even dropped a health kit. Oh no, they're dropping grenades. Nice! These boys were actually able to take the flag, even though they lose it now, but now the battle can really begin. So now the boats has been fixed. Boats work. Now what I cannot explain is why these fellas are actually able to walk across the land. I was pretty sure this box would prevent them from doing so. I guess they realized that they have no other options. The only other option would be to swim around, which would be an even huger penalty, so they still do this. Unwalkable would make it definite, I guess. But actually we can now just get rid of this, because we only wanted this for testing watercraft. So now we know it is extremely important that every flag that is not supposed to be attacked by a watercraft needs to have vehicle filter watercraft unchecked. That is very important, or else the AI will really think that this is cool with us. So that is pretty cool. That is very nice to know. The alternative is to actually provide a landing zone for each flag. For example, this one could actually be attacked from water. Let's just create a new landing zone. Let's go to prefabs, map elements, landing zone. Get it over here, scale it a little, rotate it a little, and move it a little more. All right, and now we connect it to uphill. All right. This boat will probably never be used, by the way, so let's delete it because it's not in the area of this flag. By the way, the protect range is currently what is responsible for how far AI will search for flags. So if we want this boat to be accessible from that flag, we actually have to increase the protect range to 100. Nah, 85 might be enough. But in my opinion, this is just too much for the defense. It just doesn't make sense. These should be two different numbers. Yeah, so we're just gonna get rid of this boat, if you don't mind, and reduce this back to 50. However, this flag can now be attacked from by boats if we enable this again. Alright, cool. Let's check out some other things. There's the minimap camera. So let's go to game object and align view to selected. This is kind of what we see. Very hard to see, but there's the map. You can change field of view if you have a bigger map to a bigger number. We have a not so big map, so we're gonna set it to 12. No, 13. Should be good. And then there's a scenery camera, which is, if we go to game object, align view to selected, this is what we will see at the beginning of the map before we spawn in. So we can move this around and see what we see from there. So let's have a nice perspective where we can see both bases at the same time. Let's get over here and then rotate it, just to make it more cinematic. Yeah, this looks good. Now we're just gonna move it a bit down. Yeah, I like this. So if we export the map now and give it a try, this is what we see in the beginning. Nice, right? And this is the minimap. We could move it a bit to the right, I think. Finally, let's add some models to this thing. We're going to use the asset store and just search for ruins. Let's check free only. And perhaps abandoned buildings is what I'm looking for. No, this looks good, but not really what I want. Well, looks interesting enough. Let's get this. Quite low poly. Let's get it downloaded first. And I mean, we don't really want everything, but let's just get everything. It will be in buildings. You know what, let's also get the ruins creation kit. We're just gonna get everything in and deal with it later. They are now in ruins creation kit. And you know what, let's just get some rocks. Huh, isn't that the arc that Steel Raven 7 used on Dust Bowl? No, this is too big. Don't use that, way too big. Okay, these rocks are all too big, so let's use the size filter max free demo rock. Now that's cute. Oh, stones. Yeah, I think that's what I want. Stones by Pixel Cloud. Finally some decent sizes. Alright, so we're gonna just place some stones here because this flag is called By the Rocks. Alright, and let's get stone 4 and scale it up maybe to 10 times the size. Yeah, over here. Looking good. And finally stone 5, let's scale it up to 15 the size. And rotate it a little. Yeah, looks fine to me. And one more stone over here. Just so we have cover from that base. Good. Now what we're going to do is test this real quick. We're going to scan pathfinding and export the map. Let's go and check out those rocks. They look okay, maybe a bit too high poly. Oh, we can walk through. And the tank can drive through. Do you see that? So yeah, basically we can totally ignore the rocks. And if we shoot through them, that's also nothing. And this is the most common thing I think people experience when importing any model at first. So here's how to solve it. You have to click the rock and then you go to add component at the bottom and you need to add, what do we type? Collision? Collider. Box collider, capsule collider, sphere collider might be the best for rocks. If it's really low poly, you can do mesh collider, but it is a dangerous path. If the mesh is complex, it will use up a lot of processing. But we're just gonna add the mesh collider for now. Here we go. And for this one as well. Let's try box collider. Here we can see the box collider and we can also edit the collider. And it's just not nice, it's just annoying. Yeah, we can change its center and size, but not rotate it or anything. If we want to get rid of it, just click there and remove component. Yeah, let's just go for mesh collider here as well. It's the lazy thing to do. Ideally, you would have additional meshes that are simplified versions that would make a better job and use only very few meshes. But it's fine. For low poly stuff, it should be totally fine. Alright, we got ourselves a tank. Let's check out those rocks again. Here we are. Bonk. And here's another one. Wiggle, wiggle, wiggle. Okay, okay. And yep, we can shoot them. And we can crash into them. Whoa, and they used the boat. Very good job. So these rocks work now. Let's add some ruins. Here we have a ruins creation kit. Alright, so we're gonna spice up this base over here with the ruins creation kit. Let's just drag it in. And this might be a bit weird, but what it actually adds is an object that contains multiple meshes. So we're gonna get rid of a corridor. We're gonna get rid of this thing, of that thing, and also this thing, and what is that? Yep, that one as well. This is a bit huge, and actually no, this is nice. And now we're just gonna move things around, and again we can delete what we don't like. And we need to add mesh colliders to these as well, if we want people to not just walk through. So let's rotate this, scale it up a little as well. And just look at this. Looking good. This is nice decoration. Let's remember to add let's just write it in here, mesh collider. Same with this. Mesh collider. What about this floor? This floor is nice. Okay, I hope AI will be able to walk on this. Now, you know what, let's move it over here and actually not give it a mesh collider. Yeah, let's just make it kind of overgrown and just decorative, so people can walk through it. Doesn't matter. Probably a bad idea, but we'll see. Finally, we have buildings. Prefabs. Let's get these over to this space. No, to this space, because this space is totally empty. Birdhouse? No. Old pole? No. Ruined house? Yes. So this one does not have... Wait, so this one adds the ruined house with a collision. It does have a mesh collider. And the burned stove also. We can get rid of that. So let's remove the stove. Yeah, I like that. Not sure what's up with this ruined house collision. Oh well, we will find out later, I suppose. So let's move that over here, and actually let's make it... Yeah, let's make it be inside the ground. Scale it up a little, I think. And let's move a flag inside of it. That ought to be fun. Here we go. And what we're also going to do now is customize the spawn locations, because so far per flag we only have one spawn location and one defense position. And this can be very important and very rewarding. So we're gonna only modify this for the uphill and the walls flags. This thing here, the contested spawn point and the spawn point. We want to duplicate this. Control D and move. Control D and move, Control D and move. So far all units spawned at this point, but now we have multiple of these. They will spawn all around. So let's make some more. Alright, we have now 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Good number, good number. And these are the contested spawn point containers. So if this flag is being attacked, then the spawn points are somewhere else, so that the soldiers cannot defend immediately. That makes gameplay much more interesting. So let's add some behind this wall, and add some down below this hill. So they have to actually get back to the base before they can defend it. Yeah, this looks good. And we're going to do the same for this base. Got to open up the walls, flag point, capture point, go to spawn point container, and to move the spawn points around. Also, they really shouldn't spawn inside of this thing. So let's move it here. Here it is, duplicate, move one over here, duplicate, move one over here, duplicate, move that one over here. That's a bit high, let's get it down to earth. Duplicate, move it over here, duplicate and here, duplicate and here. And one more over here. And now for the contested ones, we have 8. No, we have 8. Yeah, we have 8. Now the contested spawn point over here. This should not be right by the flag. So once this is under siege, one back here, one back here. And one interesting method is a funny one, a non-serious one, is to put the contested ones way up into the air. So when a flag is being attacked, then the enemy, if they want to defend it, they have to spawn into the air and fall down, and then only they can start defending. Okay, so we have 1, 2 or 3. 2 we have... No, we have 3 over there, and then 1 over here. What happened here? It's way underground. Come closer and come up. Come closer. Here we go. There we go. And then maybe 1 over here behind... No, just by the wall. And another one. And another one. Yeah, I'm gonna do this for all the flags, actually. This can be tedious work, but it really is worth it. This sets the boys apart from the men, the girls apart from the women, the levels apart from the maps. Oh, and if you're paying attention there, I'm adding a landing zone to this checkpoint, so boats can land there. This one is probably the most interesting one, because you can place the spawn points right inside the ruins, inside the building, strategical and nice. But once you are under attack, everything is outside of the ruins if you place them there. So then you have to fight yourself in there before you can actually try contesting the flag again. Alright, one final thing, we're gonna add some textures to these bland walls. Let's see, the stone material doesn't really work. Ruins creation kit materials work much better. Not perfect, but better. So it's much better to use the models usually, but it'll do. I don't really like how these two checkpoints are really visible from one another, so I'm gonna add some mountains between them, and as per usual, soften. Not too much though. I don't want anybody crossing these. Alright, and it's time for a final run of the Pile Texturere. What is it doing down here? Let's move it up. Alright, apply texture, and beautiful. Now, if you decide to make your own models in Blender, you can import these as well. I don't know, maybe just add a simple minimal rock or something. I am not an advanced 3D modeler. What I do is go to edit mode, select single nodes, press G to move them around, click left to confirm. Then I select faces, or 4 connected nodes, and then press E to extrude, S to scale, move them around with G, select separate nodes, move them around with G, use the numpad 1, 3, 7, 9 keys to align my view in 90-degree angles, and just make some low poly rock this way, for example. My main recommendation would be remember to apply your scale, which would be Control A and then scale, rotation also, location also maybe, stuff like that. Then you can just save it in the assets folder in models preferably. Let's call this one low poly rock. And it will be automatically imported, and then we can just place it somewhere. For example, at blue base. Let's rotate it and move it around a little bit and give it a material. Yeah, we can just drag it from another one. Or from the ruins creation kit. Maybe this? Yeah, we have problems with the UV map here. Yeah, okay, so this one will just take the color. If we wanted to apply the texture somehow, then I think we have to, in edit mode, select all, press U for unwrap. Better go to UV editing. Yeah, I don't know, looks good. What if we save it? If we save it, yeah, it will apply the material somehow. Let's throw rocks on it after all. Yep, that is good, that is good. I mean, it's better than nothing. The final last thing is we're gonna change the texture of a standard soldier. We're not gonna change the soldier model. I did another tutorial for that. You can check that one out. I will put the link in the description of this video. By the way, I will also put a link to my weapons tutorials there. But we're gonna change the color of one soldier. For this, we're gonna go to prefabs, we're gonna go to map elements, and we're gonna add custom actor model. Just place it anywhere. It's invisible. We're gonna make one for blue, team blue, and all we're gonna change is the material. So actor blue. We can click that and see it. Let's zoom in again. We can basically just overwrite this. We don't have to preserve it or anything. So what we're going to do is we're going to edit the image files, because all they do is apply image files, basically. For some reason, Unity already knows that I have GIMP installed, so I can just double click the image. Otherwise, you can just right click, show an explorer, and then from here you can open that with whatever image editor you want. I'm just going to use GIMP, and I'm going to just change the color in a general way Let's just go for maybe hue saturation manipulation. We're gonna just change the hue a little, make it a little... Yeah, we're gonna make it a nice friendlier blue. A little lighter as well. And I'm gonna add another layer. Just gonna fill it with white and filter noise, HSV noise. All right, let's do that. And this one we're gonna just desaturate this layer. And we're gonna do a multiply overlay and reduce opacity as well. So this might look nice. Now we're just gonna export this, export overwrite, and now it automatically changes. And we're gonna do the same with the red one. Yeah, why not? Let's go for pink and export and replace. All right, so custom actor model. We're gonna assign that to soldier. There are 3 ones. The soldier animations is not what we want probably. Soldier weapon holder preview is probably not what we want. We probably just want soldier. So we use soldier, we keep actor blue, we duplicate. Oh boy, why do you put this way down? And this one will be red, and it will also be soldier, and it will be actor red. To make sure the model uses the material we want them to use, set actor material to -1. Here we go. Now let's build it and play it. Alright, here we go. The color is changed. The soldier bodies are light blue. Raven took by the rocks, but we're gonna take this base. Yeah, side mountain is ours. Yeah, this is a good scale, I think. This is a good scale, definitely a good scale. And you guys are my team now. Let's go and get... Oh no, that was our tank, wasn't it? Hello, pink fellas! Alright, let's get in there. Quick, quick, quick. We can get it, come on. Ah, crud. Only one teammate left alive, and I'm not gonna take this alone. Oh no, oh no. Oh, okay. Fantastic. Alright, so now we're gonna put the map on Steam Workshop. The most important thing is to do a good screenshot. Good screenshots and a good title image. So we're gonna go to spectator mode, we're gonna point match bots 0, very important. And now we're just gonna take some position that we like. Some perspective that we like. Yes, so I kind of like this. So we're just gonna go and hit Alt Print. And I'm just gonna go to Paint and Control V in here. I'm just gonna save it. Screen 1. Let's do more screenshots. Yeah, like this. Gonna save that one as screen 2. And this one and that one as screen 3. And now we're gonna have bots fight each other. We're gonna be spectator and it's gonna be point match. For this you might want to use slow-mo. And what I want to point out here is the different texture of the characters. Screenshot. Alright, we're gonna save this as screenshot 4. And now the other team. And screenshot take. Nope, nope, I didn't like that. Let's wait for them to get into a nicer position. Right, maybe like this. Screenshot take. Yeah, that is good, that is good. Weird and funny. Save as screen 5. Alright, here are our screenshots. And we're gonna turn this one into a square. I'm gonna use GIMP again. Image crop. No, canvas size. 7, now let's go for 512. Okay. Layer, scale layer. Be like this. I don't know. Do we focus on the plane or do we focus on the base or do we just leave it like this? I guess we just leave it like this. And I want to add some text. So what is this map called? Let's call it Dream Battle. I mean, what does this look like? It looks like a Mario world, like a dream world, like a cartoon world. It's green, it's bright, it's happy, but it's also battle, it's death, it's destruction, it's war. Dream field. Lame. Dream field, yeah. So a nightmare, it's just too bright for a nightmare. So it's a dream, stroll, take a walk, take a walk in the field, no, field, war park. Park war. Green field. Green sleeves? Green sleeves? What is the song Green Sleeves about? Alright, you know what, we're just gonna call it Green Sleeves, because For marketing reasons, that's how it is. People will remember the name, maybe. Scenes. Let's go to scenes. Let's call it green sleeves, and let's build it. I mean, let's just double sure and go to export. Delete all the stuff. Scan pathfinding. It's not even balanced. I mean, red is dominating totally. Maybe I'll optimize it another time, the map. All right, let's export it. Great. And now I want to put it on Steam. For this, we need to turn on Steam. Oh yeah, I forgot we wanted to add a title. All right, that'll be my title image. Why not? The title is 380 kilobytes. Maybe reduce it to 320, because I have a bad feeling about image sizes you can upload to Steam. Okay, Steam is running. Let's go to Unity. Let's go to Ravenfield Tools. Let's publish to Steam Workshop. This thing will pop up. You can resize it and connect to Steam. You can refresh items and create a new item. So this item will be called Green Sleeves. Green hills and deadly fields of war. And we're going to select the map on the left here, and we're going to change the image. Over here, title 320. Okay, let's hope for the best. I think I'm ready, so let's... Right, you have to scroll down and publish. Let's not make it public yet. Let's publish. Preparing content for upload. Uploading content. And it was uploaded. Okay, and it opens the item in Steam. So what I can do now is I can edit, for example, images. So I'm gonna upload screen 4, screen 5, first screen 1, screen 5, screen 3, and screen 2. Save and continue. I can add contributors if it was a team project. I can edit links. Well, this is just Facebook, Twitter stuff. I can change the title and description, but I cannot change the icon from here. So you have to do this from inside of Unity. I can change visibility to make it public. Don't have to do that from Unity either. And what else? That is it. It is public now, isn't it? I guess that is it. So if we go to a workshop of Ravenfield and browse items, and then sort by most recent, then it is not here yet. So I used to think I have to turn off Unity and Ravenfield and Steam for this to work, so it goes faster. But now I think it's just random how long it takes. There's probably some moderation process to prevent offensive material or viruses from being uploaded. For me, for this map, it took 20 minutes for it to be listed. But meanwhile, I was able to already share a link on Discord and stuff. When you use Unity Asset Store assets, it is best practice to give attribution to them. Just put a link to them in your map description page on Steam. It is possible that they actually require attribution, so pay attention to the description page of the assets on the asset store and to any text files included with the assets. I've never seen it so far, but it can theoretically happen, and Unity is kind of cool with that, so pay attention, just be careful. The easiest way is always to just include links to what assets you used. And in the best case scenario, you write an atmospheric description of your map, then a technical description like why did you do it, how long did it take you to do it, for example, and then include attribution. That is my recommendation. While you wait for your item to appear on the items list, you have to clean up a little. You have to remove your temporary testing map. In your Ravenfield folder, go to Ravenfield Data, go to Mods, go to Ravenfield Tool Export, and delete your map. My incredible map, goodbye. And green sleeves, goodbye. This is the same name of the same map, just, you know, at different stages. And now on Steam, go actually to your item and subscribe to it. Yeah, so you actually download it. But it is important that you subscribe to it, because that way you can see the errors that others are seeing if they try to play with your item. So if we now start Ravenfield while Steam is open, it will load the custom content and we can play the map. And it has a preview image. Alright, so now we can play the map. And here are my blue, light blue buddies, and we're gonna fight the pink menace. There we go, all with custom weapons and all. And no, you can... Oh, okay, maybe you can take that base after all. So this is it, it works perfectly. So you know what, I have to admit, I've been recording this tutorial for over 4 hours. I thought I'd make also a part where I show you how to make a map from scratch. This was how to make a map based on the example scene. Maybe in another video, but for this video, that's enough. Please bombard me with questions in the comments, let me know how it works, give this video a like if it helps. Subscribe if you want to see more videos about Ravenfield and more tutorials. And I will see you in the next map. Thank you for tuning in. Ciao!